All right, it's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Pin High Media. Wyndham Clark got his first W at Quail Hollow at the Wells Fargo, and KH Lee is looking to three-peat this weekend. So we'll get into all that. Let's get into it.
This is Jordan Spieth here, and
this is the Pin High Podcast.
Okay, I found the Quail Hollow ball marker I was looking for. Pretty pure, right?
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Nice and clean.
So yeah, off the bat, I was at the Quail Hollow at the Wells Fargo. They should call it the Quail Hollow.
The Quail Hollow, yeah.
Because the Wells Fargo is just the lamest name.
It is the lamest name.
It doesn't even feel like an elevated event. Like it was an elevated event, but
No.
I feel like it just because it's the Wells Fargo and you have that logo, and it's just
And like obviously it's a great venue, and I loved it. It was like great. Like the Green Mile's awesome. I really only went to the back nine for the most part throughout the day. But yeah, there was something about the event that didn't feel like all that elevated.
I mean, maybe it's because Wyndham Clark took home the win, but
that wasn't it.
Well, I agree. I think the whole golf world as a whole like agrees, but like Quail Hollow is like over. Like we saw at the President's Cup last fall. We see it every year here. We see it at the PGA every now and then. It's kind of like, all right, we're kind of done with Quail Hollow. In person, it's awesome because I was there last fall, and it's like you're right, so pure. Like the greens are like impeccable. Whole course looks amazing, but like outside like the green, like I don't remember, like I barely remember like one. I remember like one hole on the front nine. I feel like it's just like not as interesting as some of the other elevated events like Riv or Waste Management or Century. Like there's just not as the buzz that there is at other places.
I'll give it this. I think that holes, I want to say, is 14 the short par 4? Yeah. 14 through 18 is a nice finishing stretch of golf. It just that Wyndham Clark was winning by so much that it kind of takes the wind out of the sails.
Yeah.
But 18 it isn't the coolest hole out of those 14 through 18, but the pin location on
front left,
on the left, the front left, is despicable.
It was the same pin location when I went at President's Cup. It was awesome. Like that was so much fun,
dude. It's crazy. It's not fair. Did you see anybody birdie?
We saw. I think Spieth chipped in for birdie. There were a couple like there's match plays. They're firing at the pin, especially if like someone like I didn't get that for the President's Cup. They redid the routing a little bit, so that was hole 15, so that everyone could see it and like all the hospitality and everything like that. So it was like coming down the wire at the matches. So people were firing at the pins and everything like that. But yeah, that whole like if you miss it at all, like you're off, like to the right, like you're rolling, like you're off the green, or you miss it short, you're off the green. It's awesome pin location.
It's like a greenskeeper revenge. If you ever seen those videos where they like put the hole like in weird spots, that's exactly what that hole is.
So exactly. If I'm gonna guess, I would guess that Jordan Spieth, when you saw him chip in, was just short of the green and to the right of the pin.
I think he was, he was definitely just short. He might have been he might have been short left and like got held up and then chipped it in.
I saw a lot of people almost chip in from that range, but to end
you're right. I think Jordan chipped in from front left, and then Xander chipped in from the front right part of the green. Yeah.
It's makeable. It's a makeable chip, but like that was kind of like there weren't a lot of makeable putts because you're either going down the hill or like it's hard to get it near the hole. But
you're playing it safe.
Me and my friend were posted up for the last like hour or so of our day, right in front of the ropes, just sitting down like in the sun.
That's awesome.
Right off the green, just watching, and we were like just throwing like $1 bets at each other, just being like, all right, he'll get up and down here, or like birdie here, and the whole entire like hour we were there, or however long it was, no birdies. Not a single one.
At the end of the day, too. So all like the last groups too.
It was the last groups that came through. Maybe I don't think we stayed for like the last two, but
interesting. Well, maybe that was a precursor for everyone kind of no one really doing anything on Sunday either. Seems like I didn't watch a whole lot. I think I watched one hole. I watched hole 9 on Sunday, and it was Xander had clawed back and then he 3-putted immediately or something, and then it just seemed like it was kind of a boring back 9, unfortunately.
Yeah. Also, we had hospitality off 15T, which is like it's a par 5 tee, so like who like it's like whatever, but like free Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches.
Oh, that's nice.
Gas. 15's a cool hole too, but yeah, overall like good for Wyndham Clark. Like I feel like it's been a long time coming. There's a couple guys like that on tour that just haven't really broken through, but they're under the radar guys that you're like they're good. Like I'm trying to think of another one.
He is very, very good.
Like I was gonna say Will Gordon because they have comparable games, but he's too new to really stamp with that tag.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
maybe like no, because Tom Hoagie's won.
It's a tough comparison.
Tom Hoagie's comparable, kind of.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's not as good right now, but he's comparable. He's been knocking on the door for a while, and no one realized how good he is, really.
Yeah,
I had thought that Wyndham Clark had a win before this for some reason. I don't know why. I just thought he won like one of those random weeks, but he just never did. So,
even if he did have a win, I would not have been able to tell you where he would have won. Like it probably would have been like the Wyndham Championship.
Yeah, Wyndham winning the Wyndham. Yeah, that we're gonna have to bet on that.
I mean, in data golf, he's number 10 in the world in data golf. Now he's just a top 30 on OWGR, which is kind of nuts when you think about it.
Yeah, that is crazy that he's that high up. But I mean, I guess that's what a win and like a year of good golf will do for you.
Yeah, I mean, we could see him on the Ryder Cup team. Like he'd be that. It's always like one or two guys. You're
Harris
like
English.
Yeah, Harris English or like Ryan Palmer and or Ryan Moore in 2016 at what's it called, Hazeltine. It's one of those random guys always on the team.
There's always one.
But I'm trying to think of anything else that I took away from the event. Watching the event in person is just very fun. It's great.
It is very fun.
It's a good day. Good way to spend your day.
It looks like it was good weather too, which is kind of all that
it was
matters.
Like I almost like whenever the sun would go over a cloud, which is like not very often, like I'd be super happy. I'd be super content for that for a little bit. But other than that, it was like blue skies and like 80 degrees the whole entire day.
Yeah.
I didn't get
so how would you rank this on some of the other events that you've gone to?
Well, I think like the fact that I just know how to do it now, it's probably the most fun I've had at an event so far. Because
what is knowing how to do it? Like just posting up on a hole?
Just like kind of getting there and knowing where guys are on the course and being like, okay, like I'm not going to walk the course with them, but I like these holes, so I'm going to watch him play 14 through 16 and then move on, and like I can easily get back to 14 and like watch maybe like another guy that I like come through and then go else and post up on a hole, other than just like, all right, let's follow him holes 1 through 18.
Yeah, that's not the move. And also knowing the course and knowing like, all right, 17's the or 15's the par 5, 14's the drivable par 4. Just like if you get a good spot in those holes, like you don't want, even if it's like you're waiting for a couple groups for your guys, I feel like that's a good place to be.
But in terms of overall experience, I mean, that's also as a fan. we were talking about last week, Trevor, how like this was like my first like event as a fan since like 2019 Bethpage.
That's crazy.
Because I've been to a bunch of events, just not as a fan.
Yeah.
Then I kind of get to be a fan on Sundays at some events. So like I'd rate it above the Byron Nelson.
That doesn't surprise me.
I would
We'll get into
probably
that later.
put it. I mean, I'd probably still put it below the Arnold Palmer. In terms of
I think I think it's below the Arnold Palmer too, just in general, like well below the Arnold
I
Palmer.
know Quail Hollow is like great, but I think I'd still put it below Bay Hill. I think I had like the most enjoyable time potentially at the BMW at Caves Valley though.
That's
Intense
great.
playoff too. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Great
playoff.
playoff between Cantley and DeChambeau. That golf was just in like a good spot at that point too. Like
Yeah.
Bryson, like that was sick when he was good. But yeah, I think that those are the rankings.
Okay.
I think
not
that's
bad.
fair.
And then the majors that we went to were just kind of like whatever, because like it was crowded and we didn't know what to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm still
Really
annoyed I
crowded.
didn't get to see much of Shinnecock when I went.
I don't remember that much of Shinnecock, if I'm being honest.
Well, Shinnecock,
I-
you were like walking up and down the hills like all day, and it's just like
We
maybe
were
just
on
post
one
up at the bottom
one
of
and
the hill.
9. We were on like not 1, 9, and 18 the entire day. Like we didn't like move from that general vicinity.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Again, it's just not doesn't like this week. I think all the elevated events in the major season now, it's like kind of like all right, it's not the same as it was in February and March, where you're like kind of pumped up for these elevated events. All the stars are playing. This like Rom and Scotty weren't playing, but like Rory didn't do much. Spieth didn't. I don't know how he
That's
finished.
how the
but
It's
he's
just
hurt
because you
now.
have it's because you have the majors. Like the majors
Yeah,
are so
it
much
is.
more to look forward to than anything else. At the beginning of the season, you have these events. You get to see all your golfers play for the
Yeah.
first time. You know, the majors are coming around. That's more important than these elevated events. So
I mean,
Which maybe like I don't know what TV can do, but or what the contracts are, locations of all these tournaments in the calendar, but like it truly is, like you said, like the majors take control of everything and drowns everything else out. And I don't know if that means Quail Hollow is going to be like have lower ratings. Maybe they're going to be like, all right, maybe let's go to the fall, or let's like I wouldn't mind this in a playoff event. Like I'd rather have this than whatever in Tennessee or whatever it is, FedEx St. Jude. Like I'd have this be a playoff event. I don't care. And then you go to Atlanta. I just think there's
works well for the schedule.
I think there's a lot of things that they can do, I think, to change it around to make it like, all right, maybe like there's more, they focus more on the guys trying to get into majors than they do on the guys that are already in for majors and just kind of going through the motions, prepping for bigger tournaments.
Yeah, and I mean the PGA Tour for fans like us is at its best when we're watching January through early, like the first week of March, essentially with Arnold Palmer. Like that's the best stretch of golf for people like us. For others, for maybe more casual fans, I'd say like it's major season, which is like I don't know if you guys agree with that, because like I love
great,
obviously, but like those are 4 weeks out of the year, and they're all they're spread out. But when you get January through, or like end of January with the Century through, beginning. When's the Century?
Beginning of January.
Yeah, why am I saying that? Through like February, March, like every single week is a very good event.
Yeah, because that's when you're hype
even
about
Memorial.
golf.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
About golf because it's the winter, so it's just like that is the best time to watch golf. And now we hit like a little bit of a lull.
Yeah, like I even know what's after the. Like the only other elevated event I can really think of that's in the summer between the majors is the Memorial, and I don't even really care about the Memorial, to be honest.
Travelers.
Travelers.
6 major.
I might try to go.
6 major, yeah.
I think the plan for the Travelers might be, so I mean the listeners don't know who my friend is. North Carolina, so I'll just refer to him as my friend in North Carolina, is going to come here for that. And maybe, I don't know, I mean, Jeek will obviously be here. I don't know about Trev, but we could play Bethpage.
True.
Jealous.
Gotta get time.
Hey, like I said last week, the papers
Got your
are
license?
right here. I need to fill these out to get my New York State license, but they're here, and that's half the battle.
Right.
I think you were saying that 2 weeks ago too, or a month ago.
Yeah, well,
Get to it eventually. As long as you get to it before June 20 something, you're good.
Yeah, just get to it before the travelers.
yeah, exactly.
Apparently, you could like book it online. Like if somebody books it online, Max is saying they don't check anymore there, but I don't know if that's fully true.
Ooh, that could be
Like
a
one
game
person
changer.
could pay for the whole thing. I don't know. So just need one New York.
Ooh,
Okay, we'll see. Let's quickly run through Byron Nelson.
we need a
So
pick.
now these are two events now right in a row that I've been to. The Byron Nelson is nothing special. Let's just put that out there. And the field is this year even less special than it was last year.
Wait, did you go to Kirk Ranch when you were there? Is that
Kirk
where you
Ranch.
went?
Yep.
Okay.
I
I couldn't tell you a single hole on that golf course.
I was posted up on 17 for all 4 days. It's stadium style par 3, kind of like
All right.
Scottsdale with not like the same crowd. But people, I mean, hey, Dallas folk like to get rowdy. I'll give them that. Other than that, like I know 18 is a par 5. That Jordan had the eagle last year to have a chance of winning. But yeah, like you said, other than that, like there's not a lot of the holes that are all that like memorable.
Yeah, it's kind of a boring golf course in my opinion. But I feel like there's other courses you could go play at, but maybe not host the hospitality for the tournament. But we've talked about that before. KH Lee, 2 in a row. Can you make it 3?
And
You might.
that's really the thing. It's like, yeah, I do like KH Lee to potentially
I do too.
repeat. Like if there was going to be a time where you do it, it's when it's a weakened field due to the fact that it's right before the major and Jordan Spieth's not playing.
T8 last week.
All you need is Scotty Scheffler to not have a Scotty Scheffler like week.
I'm saying it's basically Scotty
plus
Scheffler's to
360.
lose right now. He's plus 360 right now to win.
That's crazy. I haven't even looked at the odds yet.
But let me fire off some names because, like I said to you guys earlier, we're $5 million out of 80th place in the Rick Run Good one and done pool. So like I know there's a lot of time left in the season, but we need to start picking up some ground.
Yes.
And I'll just throw some names out there. I mean, the top guy I'll start with that we have that's in the field available is Terrell Hatton. He does rank out to be like a pretty good pick here, but at the same time, it's like Terrell Hatton and Dallas. Do you really see those two going hand in hand winning?
Has he played here?
I would imagine he has, but let me double check.
I don't think he might not. He might not.
I
don't think he has.
No?
Not that I see. On data golf.
I'm looking for it. No, I don't think so.
That's probably why you can't picture it.
Well, he doesn't. I mean, it's going to be a hot weekend in Texas.
Yeah.
It's just like he seems a little fussy, and that doesn't really. People get fussy when they're hot. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that track? Okay.
That kind of tracks. I like that reasoning.
So we can rule him out. I mean, the past 2 years, we've had a Korean win it, so you can add Tom Kim to the mix. Just if we're looking at trends,
Yeah. I
We
think
all,
Tom Kim's probably is a pretty good pick. We already picked him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
I, I think we just go with KH Lee. When are we gonna pick him again?
So cocky.
What
But like,
about
It is.
Minwoo? Minwoo this week.
I don't
I
hate
wonder
that.
when we will.
Is he a
Big
good
Kind of
putter?
ballpark,
see him
right?
winning here.
You think he's able to go low like that?
He's a
Uh,
good putter.
yeah, I think so.
Not
I think he's like a low scorer kind of guy. Like when scores get pretty low, Minwoo could shoot really low. Um, especially in the DP World Tour. When he wins on the DP World Tour, he's always in like the low 60s, like all 4 rounds.
Okay, I like that. Um, I could see it. Two more
I'm good.
guys.
I'm good with. Okay.
I want to mention Davis Riley
Okay.
because doesn't that feel right a little bit?
It
Yeah, I can
does.
see that.
I can see that. Yeah.
And then I also want to mention, where is he? Why am I now blanking on who I was going to say?
Davis Riley finished T9 last year.
Yeah, he did. He's good here.
He was playing a lot better though. I'm not counting Zurich as a win.
No, you're not counting that.
Half a win, fine. Half. He also lost 3.62 strokes gained putting last week. Not great.
Okay. The other person, I was like looking at this list and I just could not remember for the life of me. The other person is Harry Hall.
Interesting.
Amazing putter. Just
Do you have to putt?
I mean, like it's kind of a
You got to
shootout,
putt
you know?
to make birdies. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean another chalky pick. Seamus Power. I think he has a T9 here, T17 here. He played like okay last week, and he's good at putting. 26th strokes gained, but
Do we already pick James Power?
I don't remember. But
I
he did
like
have
that
that
pick,
stretch
but
earlier in the year where he was like really good. He kind of tapered
yeah.
off a little bit, but he came back last week and was
have not picked
T17.
Seamus Power. We've not.
Oh, for some reason I thought we had the whole year. I like never suggested him because he. And granted, we don't.
I mean,
I don't
if
mind
we really
Power
want
at
to get
all.
into a birdie average, that's a good thing to look at this week. See where he ranks out.
I could
there.
see him ranking out well in that.
Yeah, I gotta find.
I feel like Minwoo probably like stats wise doesn't jump out at you on the page because like he's just kind of like he also plays on in the DP World Tour. So and when he's on the PGA Tour, he doesn't always play his best. So I don't want to like take him out just because of that. But Seamus Power kind of does seem like a better pick than Minwoo Lee.
Seamus Power ranks 23rd in birdie average on the PGA Tour this year.
T9, T17 last 2 years.
Yeah.
Here. Good putting stats. T18 last week.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
again, like he kind of like came out the gates really hot, right? If you remember that.
Yeah.
He did.
Then like around the Masters or like just before the Masters, he started to not play as well. And then last week at T18, so maybe
Maybe found his form again. Yeah.
And he's not like at
Oh.
the top of the odds list here. He's like in the middle.
I mean, we could also mention Taylor Montgomery. He's
this seems like a place he could win.
yeah,
easily.
because like you remember like the American Express, like talk about a shootout, like he did great there. Could be chalky though.
I mean, I'm sure Seamus Power is somewhat chalky too, just based on everything that I just spat out. But
I mean, Seamus Power won Butterfield, and that's like what, like 25 under par or something like that.
Yeah, it's one of those types of events for sure.
Yeah. Granted, very different course, but
I mean, he actually played so bad last week. Now that I remember, though,
did he get cut?
Not that you can really relate week to week, but
yeah, two completely different golf courses. One, the winner is going to be 23 under, and the other one,
well, it was 20.
Yeah, it was. I guess it was 20. Tougher on Sunday.
Yeah, it was tough on Sunday.
I'm in on if I had to pick, I'm picking Seamus Power.
I'm in on Seamus. I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. And Taylor
I think that was a
Montgomery's
good
not
that was a
bad
good
shout
find, G.
either.
Yeah, you want to do him as the alternate or Cage Lee as the
Yeah,
alternate?
let's do Taylor as an alternate. He's 7th in birdie average. Just saw his name up here.
Okay. I go to the 3. Those are good names we brought up.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that they're all like good shouts, and I think that like a lot of people on golf Twitter are going to have some like some winners this week. I think like somebody's going to have like an 80-1 or like a 60-1 winner out there.
Yeah, I could totally see that, especially at an event like this.
I feel very good about Power.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
That might not mean anything, but
yeah, that could mean he gets cut.
Cut.
I mean, all we really need to do is keep the momentum going. It's not like this tournament's that important.
Our picks the last couple weeks have been bad, but we've been making cuts, which I think we only have 2 missed cuts like all year, and then when we messed up the RBC and we didn't pick anyone.
We're making cuts, so we're giving ourselves a chance in the weekend. And all we need to do is we had a couple chances earlier in the year. One time with Chris Kirk. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Our boy.
Hell yeah.
All right.
And then we can get in the clubhouse. I'm not going to make this 6:30 train, so I'm going to take the 6:53 instead. So we've got a couple minutes here to talk in the clubhouse. Let's see. I played the Duke University course this weekend.
No golf shoes.
No golf shoes. So
that's tough.
Going into
the one time you play golf. Did you wear golf shoes to the tournament?
No.
Okay. All right. That'd been funny if you wore them in the tournament and then you just forgot to wear them on the golf course. When you
I forgot golf shoes once. And on the first hole, I hit the ball in the bunker, and I was like, "Gosh, I'm not wearing golf shoes. I'm in a bunker." Yeah.
The sandal gets on your shoes and everything like that.
I had 2 sandies that were just crazy, like short-sighted. Like I had no business getting up and down from the sand and in my sneakers. A lot of people like basically wear sneakers on the golf course anyway, so it's like it wasn't that bad. I might have felt myself slip a little bit like here and there, but like
it's probably good that it wasn't, as long as it wasn't like raining or wet, like you're fine.
It was 80 degrees and sunny. It was perfect weekend for golf. The greens were just like so pure, like
that's
just
good, right
on your line.
Yeah,
like,
you love that.
I just don't miss putts, like short putts when they're like that.
Same. I'm so not used, or like I'm so used to the greens just like messing with my head because they don't roll true or like they're aerated or something along those lines. When they run so true, I feel like I'm like the best putter, and I suck at putting.
I agree. I don't know if it was one of you guys or if I said it before, but I think if you play a course, like it doesn't matter, like the condition of the course doesn't matter as long as if the greens are nice and are rolling like consistently and like true, like that's all that matters in a golf round. Because like if you're like aerated or bumpy or like pat, like it's like that just like kind of ruins the mojo, ruins the day.
So if you took my first 14 holes and you were just like, I left after that, like I had to go home, like there something came up, I would have been like, wow, I played sick. And then 15 through 18 didn't really go so well. Probably played 15 through 18 like almost as many over par as I did 1 through 14.
It's one of those days.
Yeah, but North Carolina golf is pretty cool. Like it had like a Pinehurst feel to it because it was like just tall pine trees everywhere, and you had that like the pine needles that you hit out of if you're like just off the fairway. Very, very cool experience.
Fun place to play golf for sure.
Yeah, golf in the Carolinas doesn't really miss.
The best.
Nope. Speaking of which, there's that tournament in Myrtle coming
Yeah,
up
that's right.
in 2024 season.
No, don't know where it is. Never played it before, but
The Grand Dunes or something like that. I
I
had
don't know.
never heard of it, and I had just been recently doing some research on like Myrtle like golf courses. So
Mhm.
I might play Myrtle Golf Course at some point though, because my friend's place in North Carolina is only 2 hours away. So we
Oh yeah,
drove
that's not
we
bad.
drove like an hour 20 to the Duke course. So
Did you really?
yeah,
The Grand Dunes looks.
That's
I'm looking
that's
at
not
pictures.
terrible.
It looks very much like a Florida course, like in like Orlando or
On
something.
the marsh kind
I
of.
mean it's an alternate
yeah.
event. So
Yeah, it's definitely not a full field event at all. It's that screams like a Corn Ferry Tour stop. Just in Myrtle, like going to Myrtle Beach.
yeah,
Having the guys with all the bikers coming up to hang out and watch.
I mean, Corn Ferry Tour.
But
how about Barstool hosting or like a Corn Ferry
yeah,
Tour event?
that's
that'll be
fun.
interesting.
I'll probably tune in on the Sunday if I'm not busy. Like, because like I feel like that'd be kind of fun to just watch like a bunch of guys that are like really trying to win a golf tournament to like change their
Yeah.
lives, and then you just have like Barstool on the call, and like they're
You
just
just have
being
like
funny.
Roan like interviewing him on the 18th green.
Yeah.
After, like,
Oh,
they
jeez.
That would be hilarious.
Big Cat mentioned like, oh, I shot 72 at Shinnecock, and then just like keep going on.
What's the story there again?
He just wrote 72 on the score. He just wrote his scorecard in or something like that, or he wrote it in the scorecard, or and then every golfer he has on, he's like oh, I shot 72 at Shinnecock, and like
he
some of
takes
them
a
believe.
screenshot and posts it. Yeah.
Yeah, some of them believe him. Some of them are like kind of get the joke right away, and they're like oh yeah.
I mean, how
Great.
about when Dave didn't Dave do the like Mulligan challenge at
Yeah,
Shinnecock?
and he shot like 66 or something.
He basically
won the U.S. Open.
he would like be on the side of the green with like a putt, and like he just have somebody next to him just putting balls down. He just like keep hitting them like until one went in eventually.
I guess like the coolest thing though, like I would
It's crazy he was able to do it.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
I would
At
100% like
Shinnecock,
if I got an opportunity to do that U.S. Open course, like I would do anything to do that.
I do that anyway.
Yeah. We should the mine. If we did the mine, like what would we shoot?
you need to
Unlimited
bring so many
mulligans.
balls with you, and you need to like have
Oh
a
my
person that's
gosh.
there to like just like
Multiple
replenish
people.
balls. Yeah.
Replenish balls and they have the guys in the fairways.
I'm
in
pretty
the
sure,
woods,
if I remember it
shagbagging.
correctly, didn't they have like Za like in the
Yeah.
fescue just like fishing out balls for
Yeah.
like that Dave like didn't hit in
I
the
think it was
fairway?
I think it was Trent. I remember Trent being in the fescue too. I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong, but it definitely was Za in the looking for him.
I mean, absurd that they let him do that. Just like people forget about that.
Yeah, it's very fun though. I don't know any other golf news. I guess the PGA field, weird field.
Really
Don't know
weird
what's going
field.
on there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see. Maybe it might be better being
Let's
like
talk
a
about
first
that
or
next
second
week,
alternate.
'cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's PGA
You're right.
Championship week, and we'll get into that. I do have to catch this train, so we will see you guys next week for the PGA Championship, and I'm sure there will be a lot of storylines to talk about because of all the live golf guys that got in. So